welcome to Invictus Porsche. We've got a Porsche 911 991.2 Targa 4S. I mean, this is one of these 911s that I've always been very fascinated about ever since, you've had the classic Targas from the 60s, the 70s, and then in the 993 generation, they moved over to the glass roof Targas until the end of the 997s, and then in 2014, 2015, they reverted back to that classic shaped Targa at the back. Let's take the 991.2 Targa 4S. These were produced in 2016, so sort of you could find some very late 2015. They're now twin turbocharged, and I'll just tell you a little bit about what makes these 911s so incredible, and especially these Targas and what they're all about. Let's just drive it. Right from the get-go, what an incredible sound it produces on this cold start. And I must say, I'm incredibly impressed with the later generation 991.2s purely because of how refined they are, and the slicker PDK gearbox, and just the whole interior of it just feels improved and lifted, and from every angle, aesthetically on the outside, the front bumper, the rear bumper, the kind of deco vents that they have at the back, it's just an overall aesthetically a slightly more aggressive car. The revs have dropped slightly, just below 1,000 RPM, and this means it's time to now take it out for a spin. Well, what's different, other than, of course, the biggest change? They went from the 911 being naturally aspirated with a 3.8 litre naturally aspirated engine, which produced about 395 brake horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque, to the now 3 litre twin turbocharged engines. And this now produces 415 brake horsepower and not 420 Newton meters of torque, but as a matter of fact, 500 Newton meters of torque. And overall, it's not just that big mechanical engine change, it's also aesthetically, it's an all-round completely different car. Now the 0 to 62 miles per hour figures are also better, improved. This now does it in 4.2 seconds, whereas the 991.1 would do it in circa 4.5 or 4.6 seconds. And lastly, the top speed on this is 187 miles per hour. It's not that I would recommend anyone to be doing the top speed on something like this, because the Targa is the Grand Tourer, it's the daily build Porsche 911 that you just want to enjoy and drive around and have a bit of fun. But we are in it, and we will certainly be taking it out and opening up the sports exhaust valves and just sharing the characteristics of what it means and what it feels like driving a twin turbocharged 3 litre Porsche 911, which is still a flat 6 boxer engine, but no longer naturally aspirated. They still retain the 7-speed PDK transmission, but as I mentioned right at the beginning of the intro, the PDK transmission is that bit more slicker, refined, and just all in all, it makes the overall driving experience of the 991.2 so much more superior. I've opened up the sports exhaust valves, and let me just press that accelerator gently. With the valves opened up, it sounds so much more gruntier and throatier, and you just get a much deeper sound. Let me put it in the sports mode. It's good. It's music to my ears. On the downshift, you get this incredible burble, this incredible sound that just is amazing to listen to. Oh. I mean, I dropped it all the way to the first gear and just let it go up to about 7,000 RPM. The PDK takes over because it wants to go back into auto mode. And what an exhilarating experience it is. It went to 60 miles an hour in no time. There was no longer the feeling of what you tend to get from a raw characteristic point of view that you normally find in the 991.2, where the PDK transmission feels just slightly slippier, maybe I don't know, wet, but whereas this is just so precise, it just goes. And I guess this is credit to Porsche that in the fourth generation of the Porsche 911s, the 997.2, the 991.1, the 991.2 and the 992, the PDK transmission, having driven all of them in every generation, it's been improved. And that to me is what Porsche, or the brand Porsche, is all about. Those incremental little evolutionary changes rather than it being a revolutionary brand. And which is why the Porsche 911 as a marquee brand is so well admired and recognized globally around the world. And now, how about we just quickly discuss and talk about the spec on this. This practically have circa 15,000 pounds worth of spec at the very minimum. Starting from the two-tone leather interior, the extended leather upgrade with the cream beige leather seats and the black down front dash. And I think these two complement so well from an interior point of view. I think this is definitely by far my favorite specification in a Porsche 911. And then now, the little things that I absolutely admire and like about this 911 is something like the sport steering wheel, which is multifunctional. You've got the chrono dial button there to the right of the steering wheel. The steering wheel is also heated. It's the sport steering wheel, which gives you that added padded grip around it. You've got the cruise control and practically sports exhaust, PSM, the Porsche active suspension damper control. And what more would someone want? It's got all the big key ticket items. And now, additionally, I'm sitting into the Sport Seats Plus, which are the memory adaptive sport seats, the side folding side door mirrors, the auto headlights, the xenon lighting system, which with the daytime running lights, the premium Bose entertainment sound system. You've also got the Apple CarPlay, PCM, and all in all, this is perhaps one of my dream spec Porsche 911s. I can't seem to think of anything that is potentially missing from this Porsche 911. Now, to lock the Targa roof, you can actually just press that button and this should start to do its magic. And just watching it do its business looks like watching Bumblebee from Transformers. So hopefully that's everything on the outside. On the inside, and I do appreciate the time that you guys have spent with me throughout this video. And now let's just take a look at the paperwork. This has two owners from new, and the first owner had it from 2016 to 2017, and afterwards the current owner, who we actually got the vehicle from, purchased it in 2017, and he's had it until the present day, until about a week ago. It's been immaculately well looked after. It's got a full Porsche service history. So the first service being a minor service in 2018. That was the first minor service that was done, and we've got all the invoices here as well. And then afterwards, the first service was done at 7,592 miles. On these Porsches, they're serviced normally every 2 years or 20,000 miles. That second service then was a big major service which included the likes of the spark plugs. This was done in March 2020 at 19,205 miles. And in total it cost just over £2,000. And that third service, which is a minor service, but thank God that the customer also replaced a very essential item such as the drive belt here. And that was done in May 2022 at 26,185 miles. At the moment it's just done just under 30,000 miles. And in total this service, which as a matter of fact was a minor service because it's a minor, major, minor, but it still cost £1,670 because the customer decided to do the likes of the drive belt change. He had an MOT done, as well as having the brake fluid replaced, which all in all shows that there has been no expenses spared on a car like this. Also, the health check also confirms that the car overall is in pretty good condition, and we've given it a once over from our end as well. So low owners, phenomenal service history, and overall what a dream of a car it's been to test drive and just review and discuss and talk about the spec. I think if I wanted to retire to the south of France or somewhere to Spain and to Portugal, this is the 911. I'm sure that would be going with me to my retirement. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and if you liked the video, comment, and if you didn't, maybe tell us how we could improve. And whatever money we make from our YouTube monetization program all gets donated to a UK registered charity. It's used for humanitarian work in Afghanistan. We're building a school at the moment, that's in the process, and at the same time, whatever other money that we have raised, we use it to actually build wells in villages where people have no access to clean water or to a clean water pump, or in some instances they have to walk 8 to 10 kilometers to a stream with greyish water that they bring over so that their families can drink that water. So I do appreciate you guys watching our content and supporting us, and hopefully if you are interested, it's sort of late February 2023, it is available, it's listed on our website. And if you are watching this at some point later in a year or 2 years time, thank you for watching it, and I think these are out of this world. They're phenomenal cars. Thank you. See you in future videos. Bye bye.